Joining us now is the game operation. Well, I don't know what his title is exactly. Is it? Do we know? Where was that title you had earlier? That card. That was an impressive title.
Oh, yes.
That guy that wrote you. Anyway, Todd Bosma joins us, freshly back from Spain and the FIBA World Cup. Todd, how are you? Do you have things figured out yet? Jet lags, night, day? What's going on with you?
You know, it's an interesting procedure. Long flight yesterday. I was in Dublin, Ireland yesterday. Landed in Portland late last night. But didn't sleep on any of the airplanes, so was able to fall asleep pretty decently last night. But it still feels like it's 3 o'clock in the morning right now. So it'll take me a couple of days, but that's okay.
What do you mean you didn't sleep? People sleep on airplanes.
I don't either.
I know. I have a hard time sleeping on airplanes.
I never have either. I get it. I don't know why I can't. I just can't. But so I feel your pain there. So what'd you do on the flight then? Watch movies?
I watched the movies, read some books, and generally just sort of hung out. There was a lot of running around while I was over in Spain, a lot of long hours and whatnot. So,
are you trying to tell us that you worked over there?
Oh, Mike Rice, come on now. Yeah, no, we did 15 games in 5 days. So there was a lot of work over there, but it was an amazing experience, and I was very grateful to have the opportunity to go over there and work for the FIBA Basketball World Cup over there. It was great.
Now, what was it like compared to like NBA games? Because that's what we have to compare it to, and we get to watch and we're looking at some shots right now on TV of that you sent in from over there. Did some great stuff. The stuff you did on Twitter was cool to follow and see some of the pictures courtside. What was it like? Did it feel more like maybe what you'd imagine Olympics would be like, or was it similar in some ways to the NBA? Are they trying to get more like the NBA in their game presentation?
Yeah, they definitely are trying to up the entertainment value outside of the game itself. But I mean, the fans over there they're rabid. You know, we had in our group, we were in Group D, so we had 6 teams. The 6 teams that we had were Mexico, Korea, Angola, Australia, Slovenia, and Lithuania. And Slovenia and Lithuania brought a lot of fans, like 3,500 to 4,500 fans from each team. So the fans were crazy, and going to a Euro international game is completely different than an NBA game because they are bringing drums, whistles, horns. It's crazy. I've got a video on my phone. I just have to post it yet, so you can. I'll post it later this week about how you can hear what a European League game sounds like, and it's crazy. Like in the NBA, if your player is shooting a free throw, you want to be quiet so as not to distract them. However, over there, they're constantly making noise as a show of encouragement to their players. So it's really bizarre. And as far as differences from the NBA goes, over there, FIBA has got a lot of their protocols before the game starts. So, for example, the teams come out on the floor with 30 minutes to go on the clock. They do their introductions with 9 minutes to go before the end of pregame. They do the anthems at 7 minutes and then 6.5 minutes, 4.5 minutes. And then they teams warm up again for another 3 minutes. And when they introduce the starting five, it's just, okay, they leave the bench. And starting on the starting five for Lithuania is ba, 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 ba. Starting five for Slovenia is ba, 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 ba. And then they throw the ball up and then they go. Whereas the NBA, all of that stuff is after, the horn signifying the end of pregame warm-ups. So when the horn goes, then we do the anthem first, and then we go into the introductions and all that.
What's it going to be like for the USA team when they play Spain, the home team? Is it going to be wild?
Oh, yeah. It'll be crazy. And I think, if you look at the brackets, it was kind of set up. I think that's a dream scenario for USA and Spain to meet up in Madrid over there. I think it's on the 13th, I think is the final game over there. But I think that would be a little crazy. There's definitely some USA supporters. Obviously, I was fortunate enough to be there for the USA-Slovenia exhibition match in Gran Canaria on the 26th of August, and there was a lot of USA supporters because the NBA is becoming such a global game. Everyone's following. Everybody knows who the teams are. Everybody knows who the players are. So they were excited to see them in person there. So I can imagine the same is going to be in Madrid. But also, you're thinking this is the Spanish national team. That is what everybody wants to see. They want to see Rudy. They want to see Sergio. They want to see Victor They want to see, Gasol brothers going up against the NBA. It's going to be quite a match, and I'm a little disappointed that I wasn't still over there to see it, but I'll be tuning in on TV, that's for sure. I mean, even in the offices that we were at, they had a picture of the España team in their offices hanging up. So it's a big deal, and that team is something that they think is going to be good for years and years to come.
What was security like compared to like an NBA game?
It's different because there's a lot of different people coming into the venue, and so very strict as far as who has access to certain things. Media has access to certain areas. Players have access to certain areas. Staff only can go certain areas. Certain staff can only go in either the media section or onto the floor, depending on what your access is. And then you also have to think about it. So a normal schedule is our first game started at 12:30, so the doors opened at 11:30. Doors opened, fans came on in. That game went to about 2:15, 2:30, and then that game was over. And then they had to clear the arena because they did it in sessions. So session 1 got you the morning game. Session 2 got you both afternoon games. So your first session goes 12:30 to about 2:15, 2:30-ish. They clear the arena, but then the doors open at 3:30 for this first of the second sessions, which start at 4:30. So they only had like an hour to get everybody out, clean the arena, and for us who are working all the games to grab a quick bite to eat and prepare for the next 2 games. The second game started at 4:30, and that got over till about 6:15, 6:20-ish. And then as soon as that game's over, 40 minutes, the next team's coming on. The next team's coming on in about 10 minutes because you tip off that third game at 7 o'clock. So you only have 40 minutes between the end of game 2 and the start of game 3, and you got to do all those protocols with the team coming on the floor at 30 minutes and the anthems and all that before you hit zeros too. So it was busy, and it took me a couple of days to try to figure out how to get myself all prepared for all those games. But once we hit our stride, it was a lot of fun and a lot of work, but a lot of fun. And like I said, it was definitely a unique experience. And you asked about, are they trying to become a little bit more entertainment NBA style focus, and they are. This is the first year that we actually talked to the teams about what song they wanted to hear when they come out of the tunnel. What song do they want to hear when they're being introduced? This is the first time that they let people play music or sound effect after a basket, and they're actually even leaning towards letting you play a little bit of music while the ball's in play, which is something that was unheard of to do over there for FIBA and the World Cup of basketball, a couple of years ago. So they're working on it. They're getting on their way of trying to make it more of a show per se. But I will say the fans over there, they've got chants and they don't stop. It's great. It reminded me of Rip City come playoff time, how loud everybody was and on their feet cheering. And like I said, I'll post a video a little bit later of the last game of our pool play was Slovenia-Lithuania, which was the big game that everyone was leading up to. And it was for the number 1 seed coming out of our pool. And if you got the number 1 seed, you were able to avoid playing the U.S. until I think it was the quarterfinals or something like that. And Slovenia has been undefeated going into that last game, and I think we're up by 6 points going into the fourth quarter, but Lithuania held them to 2 points the entire fourth quarter, and Lithuania won by 3. So the Lithuanian fans were going crazy, and it was crazy loud in that arena.
Well, cool experience, Todd, and thanks for sharing some of it with us. And now back to the Blazers, and get some rest, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys. And like I said, I can't wait for the games to start. We had national anthem auditions today, so that means the season is starting to come quick and furious. So no rest for the weary, but I love what I do, so I'm fortunate enough to do it wherever they'll send me. I'll do it.
All right. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. Todd Bosma, our guest here on Trailblazers Courtside.